Shalom, shalom. Today we are going to be in Deuteronomy chapter 26 through 30. We're getting pretty close to ending it. Just a little bit more and we'll be there. Chapter 26. And it shall be, when you come into the land which Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you as an inheritance, and you possess it and dwell in it, that you shall take some of the fruit of all the fruits of the soil which you bring from your land that Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you, and shall put it in a basket, and go to the place where Yahuwah your Elohim chooses to make his name dwell there. That just read really funny. And shall put it in a basket, and go to the place where Yahuwah your Elohim chooses to make his name dwell. It's probably better way to end it, but all the words. And you shall come to the one who is priest in those days, and say to him, I shall declare today to Yahuwah your Elohim that I have come to the land which Yahuwah swore to our fathers to give us. And the priest shall take the basket from your hand, and place it before the slaughter place of Yahuwah your Elohim. And you shall answer and say before Yahuwah your Elohim, My father was a perishing Armenian, and he went down to Mitzrayim, and sojourned there with few men. And there he became a nation, great, mighty, and numerous. But the Mitzrites did evil to us, and afflicted us, and imposed hard labor on us. Then we cried out to Yahuwah Elohim of our fathers, and Yahuwah heard our voice, and saw our affliction, and our toil, and our oppression. And Yahuwah brought us out of Mitzrayim with a strong hand, with an outstretched arm, and with great fear, and with signs and wonders. And he brought us to the place, and has given us this land. And he brought us to this place, and has given us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. And now see, I have brought the first fruits of the land which you, O Yahuwah, have given me. Then you shall place it before Yahuwah your Elohim, and bow down before Yahuwah your Elohim, and shall rejoice in all the good which Yahuwah your Elohim has given to you and your house, you and the Levite and the sojourner who is among you. When you have completed tithing all the tithe of your increase in the 3rd year, which is the year of tithing, and have given it to the Levite, to the sojourner, to the fatherless, and to the widow, and they have eaten within your gates, and have been satisfied, then you shall say before Yahuwah your Elohim, I have put away the set-apart portion from my house, and have also given it to the Levite, and to the sojourner, and to the fatherless, and to the widow, according to all your command which you have commanded me. I have not transgressed your commands, nor have I forgotten. I have not eaten any of it when in mourning, nor have I removed any of it for any unclean use, nor given any of it for the dead. I have obeyed the voice of Yahuwah my Elohim. I have done according to all that you have commanded me. Look from your set-apart dwelling place, from the heavens, and bless your people Israel in the land which you have given us, as you swore to our fathers, a land flowing with milk and honey. Today, Yahuwah your Elohim is commanding you to do these laws and right rulings, and you shall guard and do them with all your heart and with all your being. You have today caused Yahuwah to proclaim to be your Elohim, and to walk in his ways, and guard his laws and his commands and his right rulings, and to obey his voice. And Yahuwah has caused you to proclaim today to be his people, a treasured possession, as he has spoken to you, and to guard all his commands, so as to set you high above all nations which he has made, for a praise, and for a name, and for esteem, and for you to be a set-apart people to Yahuwah your Elohim, as he has spoken. And Moshe, with the elders of Israel, commanded the people, saying, Guard all the commands which I am commanding you today, and it shall be, on the day when you pass over the Jordan to the land which Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you, that you shall set up for yourselves large stones, and plaster them with plaster, and write on them all the words of this Torah, when you have passed over, so that you go into the land which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you, a land flowing with milk and honey, as Yahweh Elohim of your fathers has spoken to you. And it shall be, when you have passed over the Jordan, that on Mount Ebal you set up these stones, which I command you today, and you shall plaster them with plaster, and build a slaughter place to Yahweh your Elohim there, a slaughter place of stones. Do not use an iron tool on them. Build a slaughter place of Yahweh your Elohim with complete stones, and you shall offer sinning offerings on it to Yahweh your Elohim, and shall slaughter peace offerings, and eat there, and rejoice before Yahweh your Elohim. And you shall write all the words of this Torah on the stones, plainly and well. And Moshe and the priests, the Levites, spoke to all Israel, saying, Be silent and hear, O Israel. This day you have become the people of Yahweh your Elohim. And you shall obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim, and do his commands, and do his laws, which I command you today. And Moshe commanded the people on that day, saying, These are to stand on Mount Gerizim to bless the people, when you have passed over the Jordan, Shimon and Levi and Yehuda and Issachar and Joseph and Benjamin. And these are to stand on Mount Ebal to curse Reuben, Gad, and Asher, and Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali. And the Levites shall speak with a loud voice, and say to all the men of Israel, Cursed is the man who makes a carved or molded image, an abomination to Yahweh, the work of the hands of the craftsman, and sets it up in concealment. And all the people shall answer and say, Amen. Cursed is he who makes light of his father or his mother, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who moves his neighbor's boundary, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who misleads the blind in the way, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who twists the right ruling of the sojourner, the fatherless, and the widow, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who lives with his father's wife, because he has uncovered the corner of his father's bed, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who lies with any beast, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who lies with his sister, the daughter of his father, or the daughter of his mother, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who lies with his mother-in-law, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who strikes his neighbor in concealment, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who takes a bribe to strike an innocent being, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who does not establish the words of this Torah, and all the people shall say, Amen. And it shall be, if you diligently obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim, to guard to do all his commands, which I command you today, that Yahweh your Elohim shall set you high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you, if you obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim. Blessed are you in the city, and blessed are you in the field. Blessed is the fruit of your body, and blessed is the fruit of the ground. And blessed is the fruit of your body, and the fruit of your ground, and the fruit of your livestock, the increase of your cattle, and the offspring of your flocks. Blessed is your basket and your kneading bowl. Blessed are you when you come in, and blessed are you when you go out. Yahweh causes your enemies who rise against you to be smitten before your face. They come out against you one way and flee before you 7 ways. Yahweh commands the blessing on you in your storehouses and in all to which you set your hand, and shall bless you in the land which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you. Yahweh does establish you as a set-apart people to himself, as he has sworn to you, if you guard the commands of Yahweh your Elohim and walk in his ways. And all people of the earth shall see that the name of Yahweh is called upon you, and they shall be afraid of you. And Yahweh shall make you to have plenty of what is good, in the fruit of your body, in the fruit of your livestock, and in the fruit of your ground, in the land of which Yahweh swore to your fathers to give you. Yahuwah opens to you his good treasure, the heavens, to give the rain to your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hand. And you shall lend to many nations, but you do not borrow. And Yahuwah shall make you the head and not the tail, and you shall be only on top and not be beneath. If you obey the commands of Yahuwah your Elohim, which I command you today, to guard and do, and do not turn aside from any of the words which I am commanding you today, right or left, to go after other mighty ones to serve them. And it shall be, if you do not obey the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim, to guard to do all his commands and his laws which I command you today, that all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. Cursed are you in the city, and cursed are you in the field. Cursed is your basket and your kneading bowl. Cursed is the fruit of your body and the fruit of your land, the increase of your cattle and the offspring of your flocks. Cursed are you when you come in, and cursed are you when you go out. Yahuwah sends on you the curse, the confusion, and the rebuke in all that you set your hand to, until you are destroyed and until you perish quickly, because of the evil of your doings by which you have forsaken me. Yahuwah makes the plague cling to you until he has consumed you from the land which you are going to possess. Yahuwah strikes you with wasting disease, and with inflammation, and with burning, and with extreme heat, and with the sword, and with blight, and with mildew, and they shall pursue you until you perish. And your heavens which are over your head shall be bronze, and the earth which is under you iron. Yahuwah makes the rain of your land powder and dust. From the heavens it comes down. From the heavens it comes down on you until you are destroyed. Yahuwah causes you to be defeated before your enemies. You go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them. And you shall become a horror to all the reigns of the earth. And your carcasses shall be food for all the birds of the heavens, and the beasts of the earth, with no one to frighten them away. Yahuwah shall strike you with the boils in Mizraim, with tumors, with the scab, and with the itch, from which you are unable to be healed. Yahuwah shall strike you with madness, and blindness, and bewilderment of heart. And you shall be groping at noon, as a blind man gropes in darkness, and not prosper in your ways. And you shall be only oppressed, and plunder all the days, with no one to save you. And plundered all the days, with no one to save you. You become engaged to a wife, but another man does lie with her. You build a house, but do not dwell in it. You plant a vineyard, but do not use its fruit. Your ox is slaughtered before your eyes, but you do not eat it. Your donkey is violently taken before you, and it is not given back to you. Your sheep are given to your enemies, but no one to save them. Your sons and your daughters are given to another people, and your eyes look and fail for them all day long, and your hand powerless. A people whom you have not known eat the fruit of your land and all your labors, and you shall be only oppressed and crushed all the days. And you shall be maddened because of the sight which your eyes see. Yahuwah strikes you in the knees and on the legs with boils on which you are unable to be healed, and from the sole of your foot to the top of your head. Yahuwah brings you and the sovereign whom you set over you to a nation which neither you nor your fathers have known, and there you shall serve other mighty ones, wood and stone. Thus you shall become an astonishment, a proverb, and a mockery among all the peoples to which Yahuwah drives you. You take much seed out into the field, but gather little in, for the locust consumes it. You plant vineyards and shall labor, but you neither drink of the wine nor gather, for the worm eats it. You have olive trees in all your border, but do not anoint. You have olive trees in all your border, but do not anoint with oil, for your olives drop off. You bring forth sons and daughters, but they are not with you, for they go into captivity. Locusts possess all your trees and the fruits of your ground. The sojourner who is among you rises higher and higher above you, but you come down lower and lower. He lends to you, but you do not lend to him. He is the head, and you are the tail. And all the curses shall come upon you, and all these curses shall come upon you, and they shall pursue and overtake you until you are destroyed, because you did not obey the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim to guard his commands and his laws which he commanded you. And they shall be upon you for a sign and for a wonder, and on your seed forever. Because you did not serve Yahuwah your Elohim with joy and gladness of heart for all the plenty. You shall serve your enemies, whom Yahuwah sends against you in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in need of all. And he shall put a yoke of iron on your neck until he has destroyed you. Yahuwah shall bring a nation against you from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as eagles fly, a nation whose language you shall not understand. A fierce-looking nation, which shall show no regard for the elderly, nor show favor to the young. And they shall eat the fruit of your livestock and the fruit of your land until you are destroyed. They leave you no grain, nor new wine, nor oil, nor the increase of your cattle, or the offspring of your flocks, until I have destroyed you. And they shall besiege you at all your gates, till your high and fenced walls, in which you are trusting, come down in all your land. And they shall besiege you at all your gates in all your land, which Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you. And you shall eat the fruit of your own body, and you shall eat the fruit of your own. They're gonna have to eat their kids. They're gonna mess up. This is some serious foreshadowing right here. They're gonna mess up so hard. They're gonna eat their kids. And you shall eat the fruit of your body. The flesh of your sons and your daughters, whom Yahuwah your Elohim has given you, in the siege and distress in which your enemies distress you. The man among you who is tender, and who is very delicate, his eye is evil against his brother, against the wife of his bosom, and against the rest of his children whom he leaves behind, against giving any of them the flesh of his children that he eats, because it is all that he has been left to him in the siege and distress with which your enemy distresses you in all your gates. The tender and the delicate woman among you, who has not tried to set the sole of her foot on the ground because of her delicateness and tenderness, her eye is evil amongst the husband of her bosom, and against her son, and against her daughter, and against her seed which comes out from between her feet, and her children whom she bears, for she eats them in concealment for lack of all, in the siege and distress which your enemy distresses you in all your gates. If you do not guard to do all the words of this Torah that are written in this book, to fear the esteemed and awesome name Yahuwah your Elohim, and Yahuwah shall bring upon you and your descendants extraordinary plagues, great and lasting plagues, and grievous and lasting sicknesses. And he shall bring back on you all the diseases of Mitzrayim, of which you were afraid, and they shall cling to you. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this Torah, Yahuwah does bring upon you until you are destroyed. You shall be left with few men, although you have become as numerous as the stars of the heavens, because you did not obey the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim. And it shall be, that as Yahuwah rejoiced over you to do good and increase you, so Yahuwah does rejoice over you to destroy you and lay waste to you. And you shall be plucked from off the land which you go to possess. And Yahweh shall scatter you among all the peoples, from one end of the earth to the other. And there you shall serve other mighty ones, which neither you nor your fathers have known, wood and stone. And among these nations you are to find no rest, nor have a resting place for the sole of your foot. But there Yahuwah shall give you a trembling heart, and failing eyes, and a sorrow of being. And your life shall be hanging in suspense before you, and you shall fear night and day, and not be certain of your life. In the morning you say, Oh, that it were evening. In the evening you will say, Oh, that it were morning. Because of the fear of your heart, with which you fear, and because of the sight which your eyes see, And Yahuwah shall bring you back to Mitzrayim in ships, by way of which I said to you, you are never to see it again. And there you shall be sold to your enemies as male and female slaves, but no one to buy. I need a sip. Sorry. Okay. 29. These are the words of the covenant which Yahuwah commanded Moshe to make with the children of Israel in the land of Moab, besides the covenant which he made with them in Horeb. And Moshe called all Israel and said to them, you yourselves saw all that Yahuwah did before your eyes in the land of Mitzrayim, to Pharaoh and to all his servants and to all his land. Your eyes saw the great trials, the signs, and those great wonders. But Yahuwah has not given you a heart to know, and eyes to see, and ears to hear, till this day. And I have led you 40 years in the wilderness. Your garments have not worn out on you, and your sandals have not worn out on your feet. You ate no bread, and drank no wine, nor strong drink, so that you might know that I am Yahuwah your Elohim. When you came to this place, Sihon, servant of Heshbon, and Og, servant of Bashan, came out against us to battle, and we struck them, and took their land, and gave it as an inheritance to the Reubenites, and to the Gadites, and to half the tribe of Manasseh. Therefore you shall guard the words of this covenant, and do them, so that you prosper in all that you do. All of you are standing today before Yahuwah your Elohim, your leaders, your tribes, your elders, and your officers, all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and your sojourner who is in the midst of your camp, from the one who cuts your wood to the one who draws your water, so that you should enter the covenant with Yahuwah your Elohim, and to his oath which Yahuwah your Elohim makes with you today, in order to establish with you today as a people for himself, and he himself be your Elohim, as he has spoken to you, and as he has sworn to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. And not with you alone I am making this covenant and this oath, but with him who stands here, and with us today before Yahuwah our Elohim, as well as him who is not here with us today. Oh, yeah, it's not just for them. Well, for you know how we dwelt in the land of Mitzrayim, and how we passed through the nations which you passed through. And you saw their abominations and their idols, wood and stone, silver and gold, which were with them, lest there should be among you a man or woman or clan or tribe whose heart turns away from Yahuwah our Elohim to go and serve the mighty ones of these nations, lest there should be among you a root bearing bitterness or wormwood. And it shall be, when he hears the words of this curse, that he should bless himself in his heart, saying, I have peace, though I walk in the stubbornness of my heart, in order to add drunkenness to thirst. Yahuwah will not forgive him, but rather the displeasure of Yahuwah, and his jealousy shall burn against the man, and every curse that is written in this book shall settle on him, and Yahuwah shall blot out his name from under the heavens, and Yahuwah shall separate him for evil out of all the tribes of Israel, according to all the curses of the covenant that are written in this book of the Torah. And the generation to come of your children who rise up after you, and the foreigner who comes from a far land, shall say when they see the plagues of that land, and the sickness which Yahuwah has sent into it, all its land is sulfur, salt, and burning. It is not sown, nor does it bear, nor does any grass grow there. Like the overthrow of Sodom and Amorah, Admah and Seboim, which Yahuwah overthrew in his displeasure and his wrath, and all the nations shall say, why has Yahuwah done this to this land? What does the heat what does the heat of this great displeasure mean? And it shall be said, because they have forsaken the covenant of Yahuwah Elohim of their fathers, which he made with them when he brought them out of the land of Mitzrayim, and they went and served other mighty ones, and bowed themselves to them, mighty ones that they did not know, and they have not given them, and that he had not given to them. Therefore the displeasure of Yahuwah burned against this land, to bring on it every curse that is written in this book. And Yahuwah uprooted them and their land in displeasure, and in wrath, and in great rage, and cast them into another land, as it is today. The concealed matters belong to Yahuwah, our Elohim, but what is revealed belongs to us, and to our children forever, to do all the words of this Torah. And it shall be, when all these words come upon you, the blessings and the curse which I have set before you, and you shall bring them back to your heart among all the nations where Yahuwah your Elohim drives you, and shall turn back to Yahuwah your Elohim, and obey his voice according to all that I command you today, with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your children. Then Yahuwah your Elohim shall turn back your captivity, and shall have compassion on you, and he shall turn back and gather you from all the peoples where Yahuwah your Elohim has scattered you. If any of you are driven out of the farthest parts under the heavens, from there Yahuwah your Elohim does gather you, and from there he does take you. And Yahuwah your Elohim shall bring you to the land which your fathers possessed, and you shall possess it, and he shall do good to you, and increase you more than your fathers. And Yahuwah your Elohim shall circumcise your heart, and the heart of your seed, to love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, so that you might live. And Yahuwah your Elohim shall put all these curses on your enemies, and on those who hate you, who persecuted you, and you shall turn back, and obey the voice of Yahuwah, and do all his commands which I command you today. And Yahweh your Elohim shall make you have excess in all the work of your hand, in the fruit of your body, and in the fruit of your livestock, and in the fruit of your ground for good. For Yahweh turns back to rejoice over you for good, as he rejoiced over your fathers. If you obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim, to guard his commands and his laws, which are written in this book of the Torah, if you turn back to Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart and with all your being, for this command which I am commanding you today, it is not too hard for you, nor is it far off. Is it not in the heavens? Is it not in the heavens to say, who shall ascend into the heavens for us and bring it to us and cause us to hear it so that we do it? Nor is it beyond the sea to say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it to us and cause us to hear it so that we do it? For the word is very near you, in your mouth and in your heart, to do it. See, I have set before you today life and good, and death and evil. And that I am commanding you today to love Yahweh your Elohim, to walk in his ways, and to guard his commands, and his laws, and his right rulings, and you shall live and increase. And Yahweh your Elohim shall bless you in the land which you go to possess. But if your heart turns away, and you do not obey, and shall be drawn away, and shall bow down to other mighty ones and serve them, I have declared to you today that you shall certainly perish. You shall not prolong your days in the land which you are passing over the Jordan to enter and possess. I have called the heavens and the earth as a witness today against you. I have set before you life and death, the blessing and the curse. Therefore you shall choose life, so that you live, both you and your seed, to love Yahweh your Elohim, to obey his voice, and to cling to him. For he is your life and the length of your days, to dwell in the land which Yahweh swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. I can honestly probably just end it there, but when we were reading this, I definitely wanted to come back. So, just all this here. I mean, just guard to do. No, none of this is too hard, man. Nor is it far off. Or if you're already claiming Christ as your Savior, you're probably doing more than half of this stuff already. But Deuteronomy 29:29, right? Sometimes it can be considered a cop out, so to speak, but it's a good solid answer for any time that we just don't have an answer for something that's just beyond our estimation. It still matters more to Yahweh, our Elohim. It's not for us to know. Right? We have enough to know. But what is revealed belongs to us and to our children forever, to do all the words of this Torah. Right? To guard to do. Therefore you should guard the words of this covenant and do them, so that you prosper. And if you don't do all the words of this Torah that are written in this book, to fear this esteemed and awesome name Yahweh your Elohim, then he shall bring upon you your descendants extraordinary plagues, great and lasting plagues. Guard to do. Do not forget. Brothers and sisters, I love you. Hope you have a wonderful day. May Yahweh bless you and guard you. Yahweh make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Yahweh lift up his face upon you and give you peace. Thus you shall put my name on the children of Israel, and I myself shall bless them. Shalom, shalom.